Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
We're back, and here we go again.
We're doing it again. We're going to cover some earth changes in between seeing people and keeping busy with that as well.
Yep.
So 4.0 is what they're calling it over here, rattling Los Angeles. The epicenter was near the airport. And as we see here, a 4.0 tumbler struck at 4:45 a.m. Pacific time. And that one may have wakened a few people up a little bit early today.
Yeah, sorry guys. I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah, obviously 4.0 is nothing huge, but when we look at the activity going on right now, we see in this greater LA area, we got 76 quakes out of 251 listed all across the globe right now in the last 24 hours by the USGS. Quite a swarm actually going on right in the LA area.
Yeah, it is kind of big, and hopefully everybody there is just totally okay.
Again, as Dutch would say, Dutch sense, do you have an earthquake plan?
Yes.
We were talking to a good family member, and they were just, saying, yeah, they're just going to stay put until the earth changes, nudge them out of California, if and when that time takes place. We really, nobody knows exactly when the big one is coming. Although, as I've said, I kind of feel like we'll have Cascadia first before the San Andreas goes. But we do know both of those are overdue.
Mm-hmm. They most definitely are. That's concerning.
Yes, and we do have, yesterday we had a 6.6. We have a 6.1 that hits close to New Zealand's coastline. 7,800 people reported feeling the quake. So, the activity is still ongoing, and with the grand solar minimum underway, probably we'll be seeing quite a bit more. So, by the way, the Earth is cooling. We see here the UAH global temperature drops below a 30-year baseline. So, it makes perfect sense that there's some out there, some billionaires that want to start cooling the Earth even more.
Yeah, it does. It just makes total sense.
Oh, yes. Well, we know everything is back assward.
Yeah. Yep.
Basically. Record-breaking snowfalls over Easter weekend in Fairbanks, Alaska. Almost 14 inches of snow here in April. And, of course, I grew up in Connecticut, and you could get an April storm. In Alaska, sure, you could get April storms. But we still see a lot of records falling, and records falling in many different places.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, this violent thunderstorm kills 8 people. That is so sad.
Yeah, this is in Bangladesh, and in Connecticut, we were used to getting what they called nor'easters. This wasn't what they call a nor'wester over on the other side in the Pacific here. And we have seen most definitely an uptake in lightning-induced fatalities. And it is a plasma universe as well. So it's something we're going to see probably keep increasing as we get deeper and deeper into these times. Pestilence, plague, and yes, an army of walking locusts. What happened? Did they lose their wings? Why are they walking? Well, no explanation is really given. This is in Saudi Arabia. Those are all locusts. They're all locusts all over the ground. And of course, this is adding to the food situation or lack thereof that will be developing through this absolute too perfect a storm of everything that's going on. Ships mysteriously grounding themselves in spots, where no shipping can go through. You name it, we're seeing it, albeit most definitely a little bit too perfect a storm. Apocalyptic windstorm hits Qatar. And there's video here. The winds, again, this is something, if you guys have read Chan Thomas's Adam and Eve story, it foretells about what happens when you have that magnetic pole reversal and then perhaps a crustal displacement event with winds in excess of 300 miles an hour. It does seem that the winds are picking up, most definitely.
I know, and just everybody just stay safe right now.
Another thing we've had is a ton of avalanches. And Switzerland's avalanche season is actually up by over 50%, which we've also seen this over here in the U.S. too. There was quite a few over in the West.
Yeah, those are really curious too. And it started out a little while ago. It's like, why? Why is this happening now?
Artificial flavoring is what some people do believe. And we've had so many mass die-offs. Here you have 80 melon-headed whales. I had never heard of melon-headed whales. They're actually closely related to dolphins. As you can see about the size of them, they think it could just simply be a case of perhaps some sort of toxic runoff, which we have seen all too often. And we really got to, the citizens of the world need to speak up more and get on top of these corporations that are just poisoning, polluting, and killing the life off the planet. Now, we have seen some massive sinkholes. These are the ones up in Siberia. And these could get to be over 100 foot deep and massive, massive around, and always in a kind of a perfect circle. So the question is, sinkholes or underground explosions? You know, some are in areas where permafrost is melting at a rapid rate. And, you know, that is also going to affect the atmosphere. And we see these giant round craters seemingly appear out of nowhere in remote areas of western Siberia, mesmerizing and sometimes scaring nomadic reindeer herders and scientists too. Well, you know, out there in western Siberia, there's also been found massive, giant footprints. You know, you could see a picture of, I think it was Michael Tellinger that was next to one that was about 4.5 feet long. How big would that guy be? Maybe 30-something feet tall?
Yeah.
You know, it gets you thinking about the giants. It gets you thinking about inner Earth. Do we really know what's going on? You know, I mean, now we got the Mars quakes and all. So you see an anthropologist who studies the culture of local Nenets people says she witnessed a spontaneous formation of one such lake in the tundra. There was no lake but large trees. One night after loud bangs, it was like an upside-down saucer, with the trees on the bottom and the roots on the surface. Adding that several days later, a lake was formed, which is now considered sacred by the locals. Maybe because it was created by the gods.
It sounds like it was created by the gods for her, perhaps.
Yeah, or maybe they're just, you know, clearing out some more space in the inner Earth. Or maybe they are battling with each other in the inner Earth. Spooky spiders on Mars finally explained after 2 decades. And, you know, these are spider-like looking formations, as you see here. But really what it is dry ice. Yeah, it's carbon-based ice. Just changing. At least that's what they're saying to us.
Well, how could that possibly be, since we know Mars is just a dead planet?
Yes. Well, you know, everything gets revised. Just give it a couple more days.
Yeah.
And here's some highlights. This is from Strange Sounds. We talked about this, how this nebula looks like a vein. And we've talked so many times about that, as above, so below. Are we living in the mind of God, so to speak? And here we see an amazing looking cloud formation. Is it a little bit of cloaking going on? No, maybe not. All new info that we see. We have a tornado spotted in the foothills of the Argentinian Andes. And this one I wanted to show you guys. Isn't that cool? A ghost ship in the Netherlands. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
That is really beautiful.
Thanks so much, guys, for being part of the family. Hope you found it entertaining and interesting. We look forward to your comments as always. Thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon, because we couldn't do it without you. Stay prepared out there. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.